episode of Rob Hikes. Today, I'm going to talk about um, what a lot of people think of right off the bat when you get into hiking is the pack wants to fall down, is what's your big three. The big three that everybody talks about are your backpack, your tent, and your sleeping bag or sleeping system. So I'll go over those three things here with you pretty quickly. And I think that's all for today, but that's what I'm going to try to do with you right now. As you see right next to me, my pack here is the Granite Gear Crown 2. I think it's a 60-liter pack, 55 or 60-liter pack. It's definitely big enough to hold everything you would need for, a good 5-6 day trail hike. So far, I've been very contented with this pack. It's got a bunch of cinch straps. And those cinch straps really allow you to tighten up the load so that it doesn't shift around on your back a whole lot. It has a nice big stretchy pouch here on the front of well, I guess it's technically in the back of the pack, but that allows you to stuff a bunch of the things that you need quick access to. It's got some pretty good size pockets on the side for water bottles and things of such like that. The only thing that I do have on this pack right now that I may not actually use, at least the way it's intended, is the brain. It works well for carrying stuff. Where I don't like it is specifically that when you're opening and closing the pack, it seems to flop all over the place. So I may still take the brain. We'll have to think about it and use it for storing stuff inside of it. And maybe I'll just store it on the interior of the bag. But as I said before, it does carry pretty well. It's a pretty light pack. The straps are fairly cushy. The waist straps are comfortable on your hips. Cinched down pretty tight. I like it quite a bit. So anyways, that's the Granite Gear Crown 2 pack. Next thing I'll talk about is I'll have to get into the pack a little bit. I'll open it up here and show you. Oh, we're going to talk about the sleep system part of the thing here. We've got a sleeping bag that I'm going to carry. It's I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a hike and bike 15-degree bag. I've done pretty well in this bag. I think it'll keep me warm. Not sure if it's going to be perfect, but I would guess that with other things like extra clothing, that sort of thing, that I'll do just fine on most cold nights. And sometimes maybe I shiver a little bit, but I think I'll still sleep. So anyways, that's the hike and bike 15-degree bag. Had that a few years, and I tended to like it pretty well. It's comfortable and so on. So that's that part. The next thing I have is to go in that sleeping bag. It's designed to help a little bit with warmth. Not a whole lot with the warmth category, maybe a little, but for the most part, it's actually, the benefit is that when you're crawling in and out of your sleeping bag, stinky and dirty after days in the woods, this is something you can pull out and throw in a washing machine and get dry pretty quickly and not destroy your sleeping bag in the process. So anyways, just a cheap sleeping bag liner is about 25 bucks. Then the other part of the sleep system is the sleeping pad or air mattress. What I'm going with is the Nemo Tensor. It's pretty comfortable. I've used it on multiple trips. Never had any issues with it springing a leak or being uncomfortable. The standard things with these kind of things is they're not terribly quiet to sleep on, which is definitely true. It's not awful. It's better than some, but yeah, it's still something to think about. And lastly, I have my tent. I am carrying the Copper Spur UL2 by Big Agnes. It's a freestanding tent. You'll see I have to carry the poles and so on. And for me, it just seemed like the freestanding tent is just most versatile in that you can set it up pretty much anywhere. Even if it's a pretty hard surface, you can set it up there because you don't really have to stake the tent out. As long as you're in it, it's not going anywhere. And that is one bonus of the freestanding tent, as well as the Copper Spur. Like I said, with a couple of years of use so far, I've been really contented with the fact that it works well and that it actually carries pretty light. I'm not sure exact weight on that. I want to say that it's maybe it's between 2 and 3 pounds. Yeah, definitely not the lightest thing on the market, but it is something that I've used and I haven't had any trouble with. And so far, really content with how the product does on trail. So that's the tent. I am going to be carrying a ground sheet. In this case, the ground sheet is not the one that you can buy that comes with the tent. It's just a piece of Tyvek that I got from a friend who does construction work. I don't think there was anything else specific. Oh, the one reason that I am also not into a trekking pole tent is that I have a walking stick that I typically use to hike with. It was something that was made for me by my children. And anyways, I definitely want to be trying to carry this with me along the Appalachian Trail. Something to remind me of the people that made it for me and have made this all possible because of what they're able to do for me as far as taking care of the dog and so on back home when I'm not there, taking care of the house, that sort of thing. So anyways, I definitely want to carry this stick, just something to remember them by on a daily basis and let them know how important they are to me, as well as the other way around, that I hope I'm important to them. So that's pretty much it for today. Just want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. And there's certainly should be way more to come in the future. Hopefully more of them on the trail than in my basement, talking to you about gear. Gear is kind of cool, kind of fun to look at, fun to find things to buy. But at the same time, if I had my choice, I would rather shoot videos out on a trail or just, hey, go walk the trails. And that's really what we're going to do a lot of in the weeks to come. So thank you very much. And I'll probably get some more videos out to you about gear in the next week or so. And, a lot of those things will be small things. But obviously, all the small things are really important. If they're not important, then you probably shouldn't carry them. So yeah, it'll probably be a good idea to go over a lot of those with people who are interested in hiking or planning their thru hike in the future. So again, thank you, and appreciate you watching Rob Hikes.